Police behind me have been busy since 1 o'clock this morning. They've been checking border declaration passes, giving quarantine instructions and on some occasions turning people away. Now that is because Queensland's hard border for the 35 local government areas of New South Wales is back in place. Now this has attracted some criticism in terms of the Queensland's Premier decision to really come down hard on these borders. Now, it isn't to, of course, locking out all of Sydney. People from Greater Sydney who haven't been in those hotspot areas are allowed to still come back into the state, but certainly have to make sure their border declaration passes have been filled out. Well, people who have been in those hotspots, that's of course Greater Sydney and the Northern Beaches, are being turned away, or they'll have to go into 14 days of quarantine. Now, this has been called a patchwork approach by some people. The Queensland Premier defending against criticism, saying it's all about keeping Queenslanders safe. Well, she's not the only Premier to cop some criticism, with the WA Premier also coming under fire from the New South Wales Deputy Premier, John Barilaro, saying that both the Queensland and WA Premiers have really moved too hard and too fast on this.
Yesterday there was some weird and wonderful comments by Premier McGowan out of Western Australia, talking about, you know, we've got some wacky approach by we whack here and whack there. I mean, I didn't understand it. Maybe he's on the wacky tobacco. We didn't lock down the border of Victoria until there was 140 to 180 cases a day. Here we have a knee-jerk reaction again on 15. And then, of course, Queensland closing its border with 15 cases yesterday.
Now, Queensland's tourism operators say they really have been left devastated by what they're calling a stop-start approach, particularly just before Christmas. They're saying that this is going to be devastating, a $250 million at least blow to the tourism industry, with other tourism representatives already reporting a huge impact on the industry.
It's absolutely huge from our perspective. What we're actually seeing is millions of dollars worth of cancellations in terms of the accommodation sector. So one resort in Queensland, for example, $500,000 in cancellations over the course of the weekend.
Now, this isn't going to change anytime soon. We're told by Queensland's Health Minister that the border restrictions aren't going to be revised until January 8, and then they will want to see 28 days of no linked cases to the Sydney cluster. So certainly for Christmas and New Year, it's looking like it's going to be a tough time in quarantine for those who do try to pass over. Those who can't aren't going to get to see family and friends, and of course the tourism industry is going to struggle to cope as well.